Good morning, tribe. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. We are so far. It is 6:30 in the morning, and we are pulling out of Desert View Campground in the Grand Canyon. We're going to be driving through the Grand Canyon today. I did make a cup of coffee. I might end up making another one at a viewpoint or something. But I decided to go ahead and get started early because we got a lot of errands to run when we get back to Flagstaff, and because I thought it would be interesting to see if I could see some of the park without all the crowds. So we're going to find out how that goes. We only have about 112 miles worth of driving to do today, I think, but it's going to take about 3 hours. So there's our sunshine, and I don't think it's supposed to be super windy today as it has been. I need to get that out of my eyes a little bit. Let me see if I can do something about the windshield for you guys, because it has been windy. 37 degrees outside right now. I don't know if that's going to help much or not, but that's what we're going to get. I had to air up a couple of the tires today. They're all still a bit on the low side, but since I'm not doing any high-speed driving and I'm not going a real long distance, and when I say low, I mean low compared to optimum, still within 10%, and I'm just going to let it go because I think I'm going to be back into some warm weather, hopefully, in the next day or so. I have to admit I am somewhat surprised by the number of people that still tent camp in the national parks. I mean, honestly, to me it seems like too much trouble, but I used to do it when I was young. Whoops. Don't go in the campsite, stay on the road. It's a very tight campsite. The maximum vehicle length is 30 feet. RV or trailer, and I think a 30-foot trailer would be pretty hard to maneuver in here. It's definitely tight. So yesterday we walked from the campground over to Desert View Watchtower and walked around on the rim for quite a bit. And that was fun, wasn't it, Kit? We had a good time doing that. In fact, we walked up the rim quite a ways, almost, I think, to where our first pull-out is going to be this morning. And I'm going to do that pull-out because I want to see if you can look back and see the Watchtower from there. Once I got some distance away from the Watchtower itself, I was not able to see it when I looked back. You know, it was being obscured by the landscape. But I kind of think there might be a view of it from the viewpoint, and it also gives you a big view of the Big Bend of the Colorado right there. So we're going to check that out. I did not get a sticker when I was there to get my passport stamped yesterday, so I'm hoping I can pick up a sticker today too. So the Desert Watchtower is down here to our right. All of this parking across the street is for it. And as I said when I was making video yesterday, this is the third time I've been to the Grand Canyon, I think. I don't think no, I never came when I was a kid. My parents never came west. But the last time I came was in 2015, I think, and I came in through the same east entrance that we came in through today. But I know we didn't go check out the Watchtower. We didn't actually deviate from the main road at all. We basically just drove through and stopped at a couple of the viewpoints. Grand Canyon Village is 25 miles. So we came in from the left over there. And the entrance is very close by. And I walked up along the rim over here to our right, quite a ways. I can see the pull-out sign, I think, now on the map. And of course, one of the issues with being a larger vehicle is that sometimes I can't go into those areas. They're just marked, you know, Yellowstone was like that. A lot of places were no RVs, no trailers at all. Look at this view. Can you see this? My goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I know I would not have walked all the way up to the to this overlook, looking at that gap right there. That basically comes all the way up to the road. So we're going to see some of the Grand Canyon overlook sites today. I don't think we're going to do any hiking this morning. 38 degrees, woohoo! Navajo Point. Go down here. Looks like it's a circle. Great. Camping. Ow. And look, no people. All right, let's just, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, somebody's behind me. All right, I'm gonna pull up here to the frontage space. So I'll be able to get out of here without any problem. And we're gonna go take a look.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls us, roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
All right, guys. This is a similar view down the canyon to what we got yesterday. But look at the way the colors change from the sunrise sunlight. That's pretty awesome. And I think without a doubt, this is the earliest that I've ever gotten up and about at a national park. I think we're going to go walk up along the edge here before we continue on. How beautiful. The Grand Canyon is in many ways overwhelming in its scale and scope, but for whatever reason, this time feels different than it has previously. I feel like I'm more immersed in it, and maybe that's because I got to stay at the campground. In the times since I've been traveling alone, I've noticed that my national park visitation has become much less National Lampoon Vacation and much more, let's at least check out one thing. You know, even if we don't do a whole lot, it's not like we're trying to see absolutely everything that can be seen. And I'm out here in my bedroom slippers. They're, you know, obviously got big soles on them. Because my feet were chilly this morning. And I didn't put a jacket on, which I might be regretting. And this is also the first time that Kit's been out this morning, so he's doing Kit things. Look at me getting up close to the edge. Living on the edge. Whoa. Not too close, Kit. Don't get too close. Wow. Just wow. And, I mean, if you look right here, that's just a big old chunk of rock that's mostly separate from the rest of this. So yeah, I don't want to get too close to the edge. And when we were walking yesterday, I saw a lot of elk poop So I don't want to disturb them either. We've had our first look at the Grand Canyon this morning. We're going to get back in Henry, see him up over there, and continue on our way. So if I keep stopping at the overlooks every mile and spending 10 or 15 minutes there, it's going to take me forever to cover the 23 miles to Mather Campground, don't you think? I don't think there are turnouts every mile, though. Although, there is a section that's got a pretty long walk along the rim when you get closer to Grand Canyon Village. Maybe we'll do some of that. Look at the snow-capped mountain over there. I was thinking initially that might have been what we were looking at from our campground in the Coconino National Forest, but I don't think so. Although, I say that. Take a look when we get back out to the main road. What a beautiful morning. We're up to 41 degrees already. I did notice yesterday it warmed up fairly quickly. The overnight low was 32 again. Woohoo! And I think I might see if I can find an RV. I might end up spending 2 nights in Flagstaff. Oh, that one wasn't marked. Oh well. Because my slide would not go out all the way when I got here. And it may just be a matter of synchronizing the motors. But it may be more difficult than that. And I decided I was not going to mess with it while I was here. Because getting a mobile tech to come up to the Grand Canyon would probably be expensive. So, I think what I'm going to do is try and find an RV repair shop, pull into their parking lot, see if I can get the slide working properly. And if not, I'm going to have them look at that. And my water heater is not firing consistently on gas. I don't know if the burner needs adjustment. Oh, maybe it was just an elevation thing. That could be. I mean, it's been intermittently causing a few issues. When I was still in Portside, I borrowed Jim's miraculous little blower and blew it out, and it seemed to be fine after that until I was camped in the Coconino National Forest, and it wouldn't fire up on propane. And it was a cloudy day, so I definitely did not want to do electric. Alright, well this just looks like boring forest for now, so I'll pick you up again when it looks a little more. How about that? Look at how much higher it's rising out there ahead of us now. This looks like a turnoff for something coming up, so I think we'll take it. Go see what we can see. Alright, let's see what we can see from here. And look how much the colors change as the light changes. Pretty amazing. Look how far it goes. Come to me. There's the big bend of the Colorado down there. You can follow it out that way. I think the sign yesterday said it's 277 miles long, if I recall correctly. Wow. Which is sniff and sniffer. All right, here's a good place to not drop my phone from. Look at the sun starting to fill in the crevices down below. There's another one of those citadel-looking type rock formations over there. Wow, really red across the way. We've still got 17 miles to go before we get to the
At the next
main
stop sign, turn right.
Grand Canyon Visitor Center. And we've got a couple more stops before then. One is Buggerin. We may stop there. And
At the stop
there's the
sign,
Grandview
turn right
Trailhead,
Arizona 64 West.
which I think is where the Angels Trail is, or whatever it's called, the one that goes down into the canyon. And we're not going to do that, of course. Well, I might put feed on it this time. Typically I wouldn't, but I might. But my ideal was going to be to get to the Mather Campground, get tanks dumped, and be at the visitor center like when they open. And originally I wasn't even going to come this way. I was going to go back out the way we came into Desert View and back down US 89 to Flagstaff, which is a much shorter drive. But then I decided, you know, I came all the way up in the Grand Canyon, I might as well drive through the whole thing. And maybe what I'll remember from this is that, you know, a lot of it is just this road surrounded by trees with intermittent pull-offs to get views of the canyon. So I think my choice to stay at Desert View is really good, especially because that's part of the canyon I've never seen before, and much less crowded than over at the main area. The road that comes off to the left up here, I wonder what that is. It's also interesting to me that we've seen cars parked along the roadside because there's no obvious indication of trailheads or anything. But the game trails through the woods are pretty large and obvious, probably caused by large and obvious animals like elk. So it's pretty easy to just go walk through the woods. Yeah, here's this street on the left. No indication as to what it is. It's been about 3 weeks, I think, since I got propane. I got propane as soon as I got to Quartzsite from Yuma. I've been running the heat quite a bit in the past few days. So I definitely want to top it up. And hopefully, after that I won't need it more than once a month. I've been doing all of my cooking on induction, the electric cooktop. So I haven't been using propane really, except for the refrigerator and the heater. Certainly haven't been using it for the water heater since I can't get that to light. I think I'm probably going to not worry about that for right now. Because realistically, when I get back into hot weather, I don't need it anyway to take a shower. I just use the cold water faucet. And my decision to drive along the entire canyon this morning breaks my general backtracking rules, which is I try to avoid that as much as possible. Because I'm adding, I think, almost 40 or 50 miles to the trip by doing it this way. But, it's the Grand Canyon, guys. What are you going to do, huh? Okay. Don't do it, kid. Stop. So there is a trail here that goes down to, I guess, where the Grandview mines used to be. Copper mining. And then this area was one of the biggest attractions when tourism was in its infancy in the Grand Canyon. It's a pretty grand view, gotta say. Wow. Wow. Look at that view. So first thing, once I got down here, I recognized this viewpoint a bit. I mean, I didn't recognize the view necessarily, but the layout of the viewpoint. So I think my brother and I came here. You can hike down the hill there, which, not today. But there's overnight hiker parking right up here around this side of the parking lot. And it looks like at least a few people have taken advantage of it. Plus a bunch of oversized vehicle parking. And I hope that you're getting some idea of the grandeur of these views, but I don't think it's translating to video very well. I'll get a better idea when I'm editing. But I'm certainly enjoying the views, and I hope you are too. It truly is spectacular. Well, they just slowed us from 45 down to 25. Little picnic area on the left there. Kaibab Trailhead. Yaqui Point, shuttle bus access only, no parking. Okay. So I think we're coming into the congested area. Yeah, we're only like 4 miles from the campground now. And I am getting pretty hungry, so I think I'm going to pull into the visitor center and make breakfast, pop in and get a sticker and another passport stamp, and then go dump tanks. And part of the reason for going to the visitor center, not the campground, is that if I get to the visitor center before it opens, chances are reasonably good that I will be able to get a parking place. Because if you remember, and actually I don't think I ever got to publish it, I think I lost the hard drive. When I went to Acadia in Maine, I circled that parking lot for half an hour or more and could not get a parking place. Parking 1, 2, 3. Well, I see parking right here. And I'm going to take it. Got my stickers. I got 2 stickers since I didn't get one at Desert View. This is the visitor center over here. Bookstore over here. Shuttle bus is over there. And I think if we walk back through this way, we're going to get back to the RV. It's a pretty large little setup here. Pretty large little, that was weird. And I thought I'd show you this part just so you could get an idea of what's involved here. And keep in mind, it's still very early, so it's not super crowded. But give it an hour or two and I'm sure it will be. And so when we leave this area, we're going to head over to the Mather Campground, get our tanks dumped, get some fresh water. Not a minute too soon, I think, because I did dishes and just ran the water, which I never do. And then the pump started sucking a little bit. And we are basically walking straight uphill here. I think we need to be over there. I don't see how to get there yet. What do you think? Should I go walk out to that point? Pretty close to the edge. A lot of people. I think I'm going to skip. We've been here for about an hour and a half, I think. A little more. I made breakfast for both of us, did all the dishes, and I guess it wants me to go this way, yeah. And then I walked down to the visitor center and then the bookstore to get my passport stamp and sticker. Oh, that's a one-way. Can't go that way, good going, I gotta go this way. And I came back, and then Kit and I walked up to the rim and walked along the rim trail for quite a bit, actually. We just came back from that. You can see the shuttle bus is straight out ahead of you. Glad we're not messing with that. And you can already tell that it's starting to get busy here. So we'll see if I'm going to regret my decision to do all of this before we dump tanks. We're going to go down here to Mather and hopefully get our tanks dumped. And then we're going to be heading out of the Grand Canyon, I think, at that point. Oh, we got a stop sign here. Well, at least there's not a line. So there's that. Oh, good. Dump station and drinking water right there. So I should be able to do both at the same time. I am fortunate in that I have both a gravity feed, which is this side, and a pressure feed water tank fill on this RV. The gravity feed is kind of a pain in the neck though. As you can see, I only have the water flow on about halfway. If I turn it up to any more force, it just backflows and runs down the side of the RV instead of going into the tank. I've also found that holding the hose up and pointing the nozzle downward helps. And let's talk about these stainless steel quick connects as well. I have used the brass kind that you can buy at Lowe's and Home Depot, and I've bought them both at Lowe's and Home Depot, and I've had them all fail in relatively short order, as in they don't make a tight connection, they get corroded, it's kind of a mess. So I have quick connects on all of my hose fittings, including this one that's going into the tank. And if you look over there, where we're filling, let's see if we can zoom in. Oops, sorry. You can see my water filter is connected to a Y connector. Now my Y connector has stainless steel quick connect fittings on it, but the part that attaches to the pump is the only thing that I ever have to screw on when I'm getting water. So it makes this super simple. Oh, it sounds like we're going to be done. Now we're going to wait a moment and let that settle. Could you hear the difference in the sound of the water as it was getting near the very end? And part of what I like about this gravity feeder is that it's got an on-off right here. But we're going to let that settle a second, and then I'm going to turn it back on just a little bit and make sure that we're really full, because sometimes it's just back pressure. I think we're really full. See how it's running out now? Okay. So we're good with that. Now, the other thing to know is you always want to disconnect at the lower end. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn my Y connector off, turn the hose off, and then the next part that I'm going to disconnect is going to be here, and I can't do it with one hand because it's still under a lot of pressure. So actually, let me release the pressure on both sides, and then it'll come apart a lot more easily. Excuse me, Kit Kit. Excuse me. And I love these hoses as well. So because this is not a true pressure fitting, so I can go ahead and pull that. And I'm going to leave that in there for now, in the hopes that I remember that I have to see if we can get that out of the water. But I got to come back and close up that door, because that's the biggest risk, is going away and leaving the doors open. Ask me how I know. And this is super tight because of the angle to the ground. But now all I'm doing is unscrewing this, and I have learned, because I have had to redo this 3 times now, twice with this particular one, which I really like. I've learned not to walk away and leave my Y connector there, because I have previously left it behind. I think the last one I left at Imperial Dam. So let me just get my hose wound. We have accomplished everything that we need to here in the Mather Campground. We have dumped our tanks. We have refilled water. And we're going to start heading south. So we're going to be saying goodbye to the Grand Canyon before too long. I'm not quite sure how long. See, there's a paved trail over there that presumably I could ride my trike on. I'm not 100% positive of that. But that's the kind of thing that I'm hoping to get to do more of as time goes by. I had enough time to do it this time. It's just too daggone cold for me to want to. So it says an hour and 35 minutes, 82 miles to Home Depot. I think that's our first stop now. Yeah. That's not too bad. And I originally had Home Depot on the list for tomorrow, but I want to minimize the amount of things that I'm doing tomorrow. It's only 10:15 in the morning, so I want to get as much of the errand running done as I can. And Home Depot and Planet Fitness are out there very close to each other, so I'm going to scope out the Home Depot parking lot, because I may decide to go there after all. You know, because I got to go all the way back to the southwest end of town, and I want to exit to the northeast side of town to get to all the places I want to go to. So we'll be rejoining our Route 66 quest today. And look at the people lined up to come in. Quite a few of them. Wonder how far back the line goes. I guess we're going to find out, huh? Wow. Wow. I mean, it could certainly be a lot longer, but I think it's definitely worth thinking about coming in through the east entrance. I've been having a really good time so far on my Route 66 trip. I hope you are too. And I think we've probably got until the end of the week in Arizona, and then we're going to be into New Mexico. Gallup, New Mexico. That's for the Route 66 song. Well, we're entering Flagstaff at 6,906 feet, it says. It's an Arizona Trail Gateway community. I've been notified that my Walmart, Sam's Club, and Sprouts orders are all ready for pickup. Well, here we go. We're getting back on Route 66. See the sign right across the highway there? Here we go now.
The next light, turn right.
And we're still 1.5 miles away from our Home Depot. Oh. But here's the turn for Picture Canyon. Really? We're turning here? Okay.
At the light, turn right to stay on historic Route 66. Route 66.
We went to Picture Canyon when we were here the last time. And did a nice long hike there. Longer than it should have been based on what I was prepared for. All right, let's find out where we're going to park here. Well, we are finished at Home Depot, and they said you can stay with the manager's permission overnight. You can stay overnight with the manager's permission. The new wet dry vac, and I have a new regular vacuum cleaner.
Route 66. Route 66.
And the regular vacuum cleaner comes with a really nifty holder that holds all the implements and everything and charges it. But it in itself is kind of big and heavy. So I don't think I'm going to end up using it. I've had a lobby broom and dustpan that I bought with my previous rig, Isaac, and I have carried it around in Henry for 3 years, and never gotten it out, and it's actually difficult to get to. So I got rid of that because I needed the extra space to be able to store this vacuum cleaner, which is bigger than my Dyson was and heavier. And hopefully works at least as well. But we shall find out. So next stop is going to be to walk for Walgreens, and we're going to get the new glasses and hope that they were well made. After Walgreens, pretty bon in there, I guess.
After Walgreens, turn right into the parking lot.
But we'll do it this way. Yeah, this is a little tight for me. I got my new glasses, and they seem a whole lot better than the other ones. They're definitely lighter weight, and they actually fit better. No pain on my ear, where the other one has been rubbing for the entire time I've had it. So that's good. I'm kind of driving over the median here. Can't really help it. Glad I missed that steel pole in the middle of it, though, that's all jagged edged. I'm still going to have Sam's Club check them to make sure that they match the prescription now. So what do you think? Do you like them? And they are already starting to darken even inside. Transitions, progressives, blue blockers, oil resistant. Most of the things that I couldn't get with the ones that I got in Mexico. And again, I am not complaining about the ones that I got in Mexico, guys. I mean, for what was available at that time, you know, for what I needed, I was very pleased to be able to get it. So, yeah, that was a-okay. I knew I needed glasses. I was having a lot of trouble seeing. But I also realized that I was not seeing as well as I really thought I should be. And I think now I am. Definitely a big difference. Walmart had everything that was in my pickup order, but they did not have Fage yogurt or celery. They had celery sticks, but they didn't look very good. So we didn't get them. And I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to buy Sam's Club brand yogurt. That's what we're going to have this time. And then when I run completely out of celery, I'll stop at a grocery store and buy some celery. Yep, that's what we're going to do. I'm ready to be done. This is it. It's 90 degrees from the spot that we took the last time, which is already in shade. This one's still in sun, so I'll get better solar for the rest of the afternoon.
Sally forth, no need for goodbye.